So starting this evening, if you haven't already, make your way onto your belly. If you've been hanging out on your belly for a minute, it might feel nice to switch out the direction, the hand down to the ear, which ear is down to the earth. And if you're on Instagram Live, you can go ahead and press play on the playlist. And the playlist today is called No Man. It starts with an artist from Zendaya. Now just let yourself really settle. Maybe for the first time today, you're taking the most conscious breath. You're feeling it really, truly go into all the different parts of the body. Kind of a strange day. SpaceX was due to launch the first manned ship out into space that the US has put out in 9 years. It's a pretty monumental happenings there in one side of the globe, even though it's currently paused for weather delay. I think they'll launch soon. And then in the complete other spectrum, you see the news feed, you see the Twitter feed, you see the Instagram story post of the late George Floyd. And the undescribable unrest of an unfortunate and unneeded death. It's never easy to see that stuff in the news, especially when it started so strong with this notion of man going out into space and journeying on to other areas. Then we get flooded with the negativity of how another human can treat another human. And we can get so caught up in this notion of division. Of how the hell can the cop do that to an innocent bystander? And we could start pointing the fingers and pointing the blame. And of course, we can feel sorrow for George Floyd's family, all those connected to him. I think the hardest part for me, and what I was reaching out to my teacher with, is how can I find compassion for the ones that did him harm? How can I get out of the anger, the division, the ego, to even find metta for that individual? And she said a bunch of enlightening things. Amongst the many of, we don't stay silent. We don't ignore the anger where it rises. And we don't necessarily send the metta out to them to change them, because we can't understand their childhood or where they were coming from or what would cause something so hateful to occur. But we send the metta out to that individual on top of George Floyd's family, on top of anybody that was affected by police brutality, so that the hatred doesn't change ourselves. See if you can cultivate a little bit of metta for anyone that you felt anger for. Maybe even the situation that you're feeling anger for. Maybe you're angry that you're in your house still trapped up even after months of COVID. How can you feel that and send it metta? Let's begin now to deepen the breath. Begin to cultivate a little bit of heat as you engage your Ujjayi pranayama and find that constriction at the back of your throat. And then Bring your fingertips under your arms and start to find a funky cobra as you lift up into the chest onto the fingertips. And just find a little mini back bend here to lift up into the chest. Yeah, exhale, let it come down into the earth. And we're going to inhale the left leg up and over to scorpion to the outside of the right knee. So you can let that right arm stretch out to the side and see what that's like to get an opening into the front body, literally opening up into your heart space, into your chest. Exhale, let it come back through center. Inhale back up through a funky cobra in the middle. Tent up onto the fingertips, find a mini back bend here. Exhale, let it come back down. Switch it out to the other side. Left arm comes around, right leg swings all the way up and over, just scorpion. Open up into that whole left side of the chest. Now we're really opening into the heart here. Exhale, let it come back down into the earth. And allow your hips to come all the way back to your heels. Hands pressed forward, child's pose, just passing through. And allow those toes to tuck up behind you. Root down into the palms strongly into the earth and inhale the hips high into the sky, downward facing dog. And then let it pedal out a little bit. Let it sway side to side if it wants to. Maybe find a bit more opening into the shoulders. Maybe find a little bit more grounding into the heels as you slightly lift the hips a little higher. Awesome. We're going to inhale the right leg up into the sky and go ahead and bend that knee and stack the hip open to find a hip opener here. Exhale, cross it under and across and tap the left elbow. And that same exhale brings it back to meet the left foot at the back of the mat, downward facing dog. Try it on the other side. Inhale, left leg goes up nice and high, open up into that hip. Exhale, squeeze it under and across, tap the right elbow. Same exhale brings it back down into the earth, back behind you. One breath here to rest. Exhale, let the heels settle. Breathe in, gaze forward in between the palms. Exhale, step, or maybe you're ready to already hop it to the front of the mat. Breathe in to find a lift here into the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, find a fold and see if that gaze can go up and in towards the belly. And breathe in to reach the arms all the way up overhead. And then allow the fingers to clasp and extend through the pointer fingers. So find Kali Mudra hands here. And exhale, take it on over to the right hand side. Just a huge opening into that left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, see if it wants to go to the right. Good, inhale back through center and then start to trace a line back and find a slight mini back bend with those fingertips towards the back of the limb. Nice job, you guys. Give it one more breath in here, reach up. Exhale, let it come all the way down into the earth. And breathe in to find a lift. Exhale, step or hop the feet back and take it to the bottom of a push-up. Chaturanga, low plank. And then inhales, roll to the tops of the toes, straight through the arms of the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, reset, downward facing dog. Right away, send that right leg up into the sky, open it up, stack the hip. Exhale, take it under and across. Same exhale takes it to the back. If you want to kick it up into the sky, that's all good. It's up to you. Inhale, left leg goes up. Open the hip, give it a stack. Exhale, take it under and across. Allow it to come back down. Now we reset. One breath, maybe two breaths. Cultivating that ujjayi, igniting our flame, igniting our fire. Then we inhale, bend into the knees, take it forward. Exhale to step or hop it forward. And breathe in to find some lift. Breathe out to fold. Inhale, reach up, cross those fingers, point up to the sky. Exhale, take a side bend on over to the right. Inhale to point up through the center. Exhale to take it on over left. Nice, you guys. Inhale back through center. Exhale, might want to trace slightly back, open up into the chest. There it is, inhale back up. Exhale, fold, might feel nice to find the clasp, to open up into the shoulders if you want it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, take it down low, chaturanga. Breathe into your upward facing, find an opening into the chest here. Exhale to downward facing dog. Right away, right leg goes high, stack the hip. Exhale and across. And it starts to find its own organic movement. So it switches out to the left if it wants to go there. Now it begins to kind of cultivate a dance into a movement or to a practice that helps you dissolve whatever notion of ego or pushing or sense of disconnection that you felt. Can you send yourself some metta wherever you're at? Can you send somebody that you love some metta wherever you're at? Can you maybe even send somebody that you're not so fond of some love? And let the flow move naturally through you. Let your breath bring you back into presence. Take it away.
If you know the damage that I did, would you love me less? No, 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 no. I got too much dirt to come clean. Closets full of skeletons that you don't wanna see. Rejudge me, I'm ugly. I won't blame you if you do. No lies, don't wanna keep no secrets. Even if what I'ma say will leave you speechless. No secrets. If I introduce you to my demons, tell me, baby, would you love me less? If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I did, oh, would you love me less? No, 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 no. Would you love me less? If I had $1 for my sins, if you know the beds that I've been in, oh, would you love me less? No, 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 no. I'm happy you never saw me in college. Blood on my hands, I refuse to acknowledge. That's why I get lightheaded and I'm treading soft conversations and I bet my skin sweating. She doesn't like my list of exes. I've had it home. She's bugging, sounding childish like a xylophone. Knees buckling, hearing that falsetto that's in a tone. If I introduce you to my demons, tell me, baby, would you love me less? If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I did, oh, would you love me less? No, no, now would you love me? Now would you love me? Would you love me less? Would you love me less? If I had $1 for my sins, if you know the beds that I've been in, oh, would you love me less? No, 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 no. Would you love me?
No worries.
Oh, would you love me?
Let yourself finish up on that Sunday variation. We'll meet you in a high plank.
Person that I was.
Plank pose.
If you know the power of your love to change me.
If you need to towel off or take a sip of water, maybe you can even do it in high plank pose. See what it's like to switch off to one hand and balance the other water in one. High plank, everybody. Next deep breath. Tuck those toes, the hips. Line, heels. See if you can create one line of energy from the heels all the way out to the crown of the head. And just like we're shifting forward into a chaturanga, as we are, shift forward to the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the elbows and let it come down to a chaturanga. Yeah, and then see if it wants to hold for a few breaths. And if the belly dips down, can you let it dip up? Can you find a little push into the core, engage? Maybe even look forward, squeeze those elbows in and give it one more breath. Exhale, let it come down to the earth. Nice work. Find any type of heart opener that works for you. So a cobra might be nice, a sphinx might be nice with the forearms on the ground. Something to release into that front body. So strong, you guys, killing it. And then as you're ready, let yourself come back into a downward facing dog. Yeah, and see what stirred up for you. So when it gets a little difficult, do you send anger to the person teaching you? Do you send anger to yourself? Or can you find some acceptance with wherever you're at? It's all good, it's just poses. All right, let's try out our sun B variation. Inhale the right leg up into the sky. Exhale, squeeze and round it in towards the nose, straight down the center line, maybe even it touches the nose. Inhale it back up into the sky. Exhale, let it come in between the palms. Let your back knee drop down into the earth and straighten your right leg, fold over your right leg, half splits, Ardha Hanuman. And then maybe a little micro lift into the chest if you want to gain some length into the spine here. Exhale, fold and see if you can bring that chin closer to the shin. All right, now this is kind of launching us for where we're going to go next. So inhale, lift the chest back up and launch off into your right foot. Swing your left leg up in front of you and catch the opposite ends of those feet. So outside edge of those feet with both hands. Yeah, then once you find a catch, inhale to lift the leg up nice and high. Find a straightening to the back. Nice, look at that. Exhale, let that leg come back about 2/3 distance on your mat and fold over your straightened right leg. So square the hips towards the front of the room. Ground that back heel. And then same thing here. If you want to find a little micro lift into the chest, and we exhale for our pyramid pose. Awesome. Okay. Then let that back foot step back all the way to the back of the mat. Ground through the heel. Bend into your front knee and give it a reverse for warrior. So send it all the way back as the right arm goes nice and high, opening up into the chest. Very nice. Okay, now here's the option for a twist. A lot of times our spine doesn't necessarily want to go there. And I know Tay doesn't always feel good in a twist, so you don't have to go there if you don't want. Opening up here, we're going to contract into a twist as we exhale. Take the right elbow outside, or the left elbow outside the right knee. And that heel can come up. So you can take the twist by touching the elbow to the knee, or you can do what Taylor's doing here and allowing the arms to open for an open twist if that feels better in your spine. Yeah, and if you're in the twist with the elbow on the knee, look down at your right toes. Exhale, bring your back foot up to meet your right, twisting chair. Ooh, nice. It takes great focus. Then inhale to stretch everything up, straight through the legs. Arms go up nice and high. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in to find a lift into the chest. Exhale, plant the palms, take it through your vinyasa. So strong, you guys. Yeah, vinyasas are always optional. So if you want to take it straight to a downward facing dog, that option is always there for you. Child's pose is always there for you. Seated meditation is always there for you. And your breath, of course, is always there for you. Inhale the left leg up into the sky. Exhale, squeeze it down the center line, tap the nose. Breathe it in nice and high. Exhale, step it through. Back knee roots, straight into the left leg, and fold. Inhale to find a slight lift into the chest. Exhale, fold and gain that length over your extended leg. And remember, we're launching off into that front foot. So inhale, launch off into that front foot. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Wrap both hands around it and extend that right leg out. It might be a little wobbly this first time around. And if you're close to a wall, you might need to step back a bit. Make your adjustments that feel right for you. Yeah, every inhale allows that lift to come a little bit higher. Exhale finds the contraction of the arms, maybe bends the elbows and brings the leg up closer to the face. Good, give it one breath here. Exhale, let the right foot come back 2/3 distance, square the heel, and then fold over your left leg. Inhale to find some length in the chest. Exhale, fold. Awesome. Then hop that back foot to the back of the mat or the front foot to the front of the mat. Get a wider stance here. Bend into your front knee and let it reverse back. So the right arm can slide down that back leg. The left arm goes nice and high. Open up into that whole left side body. Exhale, take the twist. Either open twist with the right arm forward or twist the right elbow outside the front knee. And then give it a breath here. And look down at your left toes if you took the full twist. And let the right foot meet the left at the front of your mat in a chair twist. There it is. Awesome. Nice work, Patty. Inhale to straighten everything out. Open up into the chest. Exhale, let it fold over the legs. Good. Inhale to find a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Take it down low. Use your vinyasa to flush that energy, whatever happened or didn't happen for you. And then take a breath or two to reset in your downward facing dog. Not necessarily to reset everything, but to connect back in with your sense of purpose today, your own metta, your own conditional love with wherever you're at. And then we switch it back to the right side. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, take it in towards the nose, maybe even the forehead this time. Give it a squeeze. Inhale it back up. Exhale, step it in between the palms. Back knee roots, straight into the left leg and fold, or right leg and fold. Then inhale right away, launch off into that right leg, stand up, left knee in towards the chest. Exhale, grab that left leg out in front of you. Okay, take a breath in here. Exhale, let it swing back 2/3 distance and fold for your pyramid. And if you want a little extra breath here, find some length and then find a fold. And take a huge inhale to expand the right arm back as you reverse it. Exhale, take your twist variation. Maybe the left elbow outside the right knee, maybe an open twist. Use one breath in here to deepen into wherever you're at. And exhale, take that back foot to meet the right at the front of the mat. Bend into both knees. Inhale to straighten everything out. Find a lift up. Exhale, fold. Good work, you guys. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop it back, take it low. And inhale to find your upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Use a breath here to reset. Connect back in with your Ujjayi if you lost it. Feel the heat that you've started to cultivate. And then we begin again. Inhale, left leg goes up nice and high. Exhale, squeezing around. Inhale, high. Awesome job, Tay. You're doing great. Inhale or exhale, step it through. Let the back knee come down. Straighten through the left leg and fold. Inhale to launch off. Stand up with the right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, let it start to extend. And use your arms to pull that leg in. Inhale. Exhale, swing it back 2/3 distance and fold pyramid. Inhale to gain some length if you want it. Exhale to extend into that leg and pull. And inhale to reverse it back. Left arm goes huge up into the air. Exhale, take your twist. Right elbow outside right knee if you want it. And use a breath in here to prepare. Strengthen into the core and take your back foot to meet the right. Twisting chair at the front of your mat. And inhale to unwind, straighten through the legs. Tadasana, tall mountain, strong pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to flush it through. Find your fluidity, find your dance. And once you hit your downward facing dog, it starts to become yours. And you begin to take it into whatever movements work for you, and take out any movements that don't work for you. And then maybe you start to turn the music up a little bit. If you're on Instagram Live, you're in control of that. If you're on Zoom, I got you. See if it starts to move a little quicker here. You pick up the breath, pick up the heat. You send yourself metta, whatever it looks like, whatever it feels like, it doesn't matter. It's just you moving on the mat, getting connected into your breath, into your presence. You got it, yogis. Keep it up. Let it flow.
Oh, I wanna make you feel the fire, feel the burn in her desire. If I burn, then I'm the liar. Her touch. I've been waiting for the feeling. Ashes heat.
If it gets loud, if you're playing with your real name, you got it.
Don't mind feeling her touch. Oh, I wanna make you feel the fire, feel the burn in her desire. If I burn, then I'm the liar. Her touch.
Tricky thing about these virtual classes, I have no idea about these, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, you can be, oh, you can be what you wanna feel, what you wanna feel. The touch she loves, like she loves, like she loves. The touch, the fire, the feel, the rush. She loves the feeling all too much. She loves the heat, the sweat, the blood. She loves the burn she gets from love. Oh, I
Awesome
wanna
job,
make
yogis.
you feel
Let that last
the
build
fire.
finish off on that left side. You can do the stand, forward fold, ragdoll position. When you feel balanced, you right side.
And I'm
Go
the
right.
liar. Her touch. I've been waiting for the feeling. Ashes heat, there's no more feeling. Hope you don't mind feeling her touch. Oh, I wanna make you feel the fire, feel the burn in her desire. If I burn, then I'm the liar. Her touch.
I see you, Patty. Foreshadowing. Just saying. Nice. Standing forward folds. Let it all hang heavy for a few breaths. Grab opposite elbows. Let it sway a little side to side. Whatever happened didn't happen. Just let it all hang loose here. And then at any time, if you need to release any coolingness, or excuse me, release any heat and connect back in with your cooling, you can always open the mouth to pause your ujjayi for a breath or two, let some heat escape, and then connect it back in. Standing forward fold, everybody, in the next breath or so. Let the toes come together and heels slightly apart for about maybe 2 inches or so. And then squeeze the ankles together. Find a halfway lift here. And then see if those heels want to lift off the earth. Yeah, they might want to lift off the earth. And if they do, let the arms stretch back behind you to counterbalance here. And the chest is proud, so think up dog in the chest. Think drishti, gaze forward to the front of the room. Maybe even take the spine a little higher here. Yeah, and then start to bend into the knees. Keep that chest forward. Bend into the knees a little bit more. Keep that chest forward. And then a little bit more, and we can start to bring the hands close to heart center here. See if those heels can lift all the way down as you bring the booty next to the heels. And if you want to float it, you can float it. See what it's like to challenge yourself as you squeeze the ankles together, squeeze the knees together, squeeze everything in. Yeah, exhale, heels come down, straighten through the legs and folds. Yeah, you got it. Good work. Nice little warm up into those legs. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Okay, I think we're ready. Whew. All right, let's all take a big cleansing breath in together. And then flutter the lips and let something go. One more time, just like that. Maybe a sigh this time. All right, this last warm up, we build in chunks. So we'll start with our right leg up and towards the sky. And we're gonna exhale and take it over to the right elbow this time. So we've covered all the elbows here. Yeah, inhale it back up into the sky. Exhale, step it through. And come all the way up. Come up through a star pose through center. Bend into your left knee, arms out into a T towards the back. And let yourself settle into a warrior two. Your left knee is nice and bent. The arms are out to the side. And then we start to settle into our pose here. Just on this first one, we take a little extra time. So can we push down into the legs? Can we root down into that back heel? And then we're strong into our shoulders as we're shooting out our metta to our fingertips, so front and back. Yeah, gazes over those left fingertips. So strong, you guys. All right, then inhale it back through center. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Take a skanda or side Buddha lunge to the original front of the room. Right knee's bent, the left leg straightens, you kick into that heel. And then up to you, if you want to bring the hands down into the earth for a little extra support, you can do that. If you want to bring the hands to heart center for a challenge, it's all good. Good. All right, then inhale it back through center. Bend back into that left knee. Bring your left forearm on top of your left knee. Right arm stretches up and over the right ear for an extended side angle pose. So same thing here, we're strong in our legs. If you want a little extra challenge, you might take that left arm down into the earth. And then we're finding an opening into the chest here, as well as the right hip, to feel that long line of energy from the right heel all the way out to the top of our right fingertips. Give it one breath in. Exhale, float it through, facing the back of the mat, Vinyasa. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. All right, inhale, left leg goes up into the sky, left leg towards the back of the room. That's our reminder. Exhale, take it in and tap the left elbow, same side. Breathe in, find some extension, kick out through the left heel. Exhale, step it in between the toes, or in between the hands, excuse me. Inhale, come on up through star, and take your warrior two towards the original front of your mat. So bend into your right knee. Now start to dissect your pose, find a little settling into the hips. Find that metta, shoot that energy out through your fingertips. Strong shoulders here, gazes over your right fingertips. Give it one more breath. Good, and then settle for one more breath. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend into your left knee, skanda towards the back. Hands can come down to the earth here. Both sides are different. This is the left hip, so this might be a little bit more tight if you're holding on to some emotions. See where it wants to go. Then inhale it back through center. Exhale, take your right forearm on top of your right knee or right arm down into the earth. Left arm goes up and forward towards the original front of your mat. See if you can find an opening. See if you can tuck the right hip up and underneath. See if that left hip wants to open, the left side body wants to extend. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Exhale, fold it down, let it come down through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Now we add on a little bit. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. Inhale, right leg goes up. One breath, one movement on the first three. Exhale, take it into the right elbow. Breathe it in back up, nice and high. Exhale, step it in between the palms. Breathe in, come up through center. Exhale, warrior two towards the back. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, skanda or side Buddha towards the original front. Left leg lets us know we're going back that way. So let it open up into your extended side angle. Take a big breath in. Let that lightning sink in if you're in Austin, Texas. Woo! All right. A big move here. So step into, actually let it reverse. Not quite a big move yet. Straight through your left leg. Let your left arm come nice and high and catch your left wrist with your right arm for a sky archer. Just find an opening into that side. See if that left hip wants to come up with the right. Yeah. All right, then launch off into your left knee and bring your right knee behind your left knee as it floats for a curtsy bow. So that's the big movement. And for this one, it might feel nice to let the arms come back. So it's almost like a lightning curtsy just because you flew all that energy up there. Up to you if you want to take that variation, no biggie if not. Then inhale your right leg all the way out in front of you. Exhale, cross your right ankle on top of your bent left knee and sink it down low for a temple dancer. Hands can come to heart center here if it wants to. And see if you can find a little settling into that left leg. Push down actively with the right knee towards the earth to open up into that hip. Give it one more breath. Exhale, let it come down. Flow through your vinyasa straight to downward facing dog. Nice work, you guys. Okay, let's see what the left has to say. Inhale, left leg goes high into the sky. Exhale, take it in and tap the left elbow. Breathe your left leg back up, kick through the heel. Exhale, step it through. Breathe in to come up through center. Exhale, warrior two towards the original front. And inhale up through center and take your side lunge over to the left side. Breathe in back up through center. A lot going on the legs here, I know. And extend as you open it up into your extended side angle pose. Now find a reverse as you lift the right arm all the way up into the air, catch the wrists. Now we do that big movement with the back knee behind our front knee. So let it float into your lightning curtsy if you want it. Hands can go back, hands can come to heart center. But find your balance, find your steady drishti point, and inhale your left leg out in front of you. Exhale, cross your left ankle over your right knee and fold down. Hands can come to heart center to remind our chest to lift. Sometimes we like to dip over here. That's all good, but just let yourself find an opening here. Go give it one more breath. And then exhale, let it come down into the earth. Yeah, you can take that through a vinyasa, straight back to downward facing dog. Finish off the last little bit of our sun seat. Let's all take a cleansing breath in here together. Fill up. Audible exhale out. All right, last little piece. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, take it in and tap the right elbow. If it wants to float there on your own, it can float there. Or it can float there now. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, step your right foot in between your palms. Inhale up through center. Exhale, warrior two of your Vajrasana letter B towards the back. Inhale through your star center. Exhale, side Buddha, skanda towards the front. Yeah, left leg lets us know we're going back that way, so let it come back that way. Take a breath in to open up into that whole right side body here. Take a breath out as you settle down in. Now we inhale to reverse and straight that left leg out. Maybe catch the wrist for your sky archer. Exhale, take it into your lightning curtsy towards the back of the mat. Good. And inhale the right leg up out in front of you. Exhale, temple dancer, cross it on top of the left knee. Good. Now bring it back through a curtsy. So inhale it back out in front of you. Exhale your right knee behind your left knee. Hands come to heart center. Yeah, it's just a little bit of movement of energy here. Then we're going to inhale as we lift the right leg back out. Exhale. This time we're going to cross it all the way up and over as our right elbow comes underneath our left. And now we find a twisted variation. Everything's contracted in for our eagle. So find some type of lift into the elbows to remind you to open up into your heart. Even though our heart feels contracted here, can we open up into the back? Exhale, maybe dip those elbows down towards the right knee. Yeah. Okay, then inhale, back up. Keep the crossing of the legs. Look down to the right side of your mat. All right. Now, maybe your hands want to go down to the right side of your mat. So your legs can still remain in eagle legs if you want to go there. And you start to, just like we did earlier, by bending into that leg, you let that heel come off. Hands can come down into the earth. And then the left elbow touches into your right knee. Right elbow touches into your hip joint, and see if it wants to float off. The fun thing about this eagle variation is it allows our legs to get in a good position to maybe want to extend into a fallen angel. And if we want to extend into a fallen angel, that left leg kicks up into the sky, and you can even bring your head down into the earth as long as it feels safe in your neck. That's where we're going. That's all the tricks. Let it come down onto your butt. If you tried that variation, inhale the arms and legs up into the sky, just passing through it. Promise we're not hanging out. Exhale, give it a rock back. Good. Then inhale, roll it forward, cross the ankles, plant the palms. Exhale, Vinyasa, flow it through. It's all you from there. Straight up to downward facing dog, also an option. Okay. Shake that out. See what it looks like on the left. See what it feels like on the left. Inhale, the left leg goes high. Exhale, take it and squeeze it towards the left elbow. Maybe it finds a float. Look at my zoomers all floating. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Good. Then inhale to lift all the way up through center. Exhale, take it into your warrior two towards the original front. Inhale back through center. Skanda or side Buddha towards the back. Inhale back through center, up strong through those legs. Good. Then open up into your extended side angle. Let yourself reverse as you find a sky archer. Catch back with the wrists. And exhale, take it into your lightning curtsy. Arms can come back, they can come to heart center, back knee behind the left, the brother right. Inhale up through center as the left leg crosses over. Exhale, sink it down into your temple dance. All right, now we inhale back through our curtsy into whatever variation feels right for you. Yeah. Just to pass the energy around, inhale that left leg back up and over and cross it on top as the left elbow crosses underneath. So big opening into the back body of our heart here. Find that opening into the ribs. Lift those elbows a little bit higher. Find your strategistry point. And exhale, bring the elbows closer to your top knee, your left knee. If that feels okay in your spine and your ribs. Okay, nice work. Inhale, back up through center, unwind the arms. Look down to the left side of your mat this time and see if both hands want to plant. The left elbow might come into the hip. The right elbow might come on top of the right knee. Yeah, so strong. And then if the head wants to come down into the earth, it can. And maybe the left leg stretches up to the sky. What kind of party trick is that? Killing it. Awesome. Let it come down to the earth after you've done playing. Inhale, arms and legs up. Exhale, let it rock back. Inhale, roll it forward, cross the ankles. Yeah, no problem. Exhale, let it come through your vinyasa. Okay, that's all the tricks. Let's start it off together on the right side. Tay stepped out for a second to get a towel, but I'll cue you guys starting through the right side and we'll go from there. Inhale, right leg goes high. Remember, these are all just suggestions, doesn't have to go there. Exhale, take it in, tap the right elbow. Inhale, back up. Exhale through. Breathe in up through center. Exhale, warrior two towards the back. Awesome. Inhale through center, through your star. Exhale, sink it into your skanda side Buddha. Yeah, and then it starts to move organically. And then you take in anything that you want. Maybe it's just the first three today. Or maybe it's the whole enchilada. Let it roll through. Let it feel right for you. Send yourself some metta wherever it goes and crank the jams to take yourself out of your mind. You got it, yogi. Oh, drop. One more time, right and left side, yogis. We'll meet you in a child's pose or any place that you can settle your breath when you feel balanced. Slowly start to make your way into a child's pose, a seated meditation, someplace that you can rest for a few breaths. See what you begin to cultivate and stir up. Notice any thoughts that immediately arise when your body is no longer there to distract. Notice where your mind goes. Does it instantly begin judging what the flow just happened? Does it instantly begin judging the teacher? Does it instantly begin pushing away towards the music? Or can you find some acceptance for what is? And then if you're in a child's pose, let the hips come high into the sky. Last little push, downward facing dog. We're feeling all right. So let's finish off this last little bit. We've cultivated all this flame and fire in the body. Bring the right knee up into the sky, right leg up into the sky. Exhale, step it in between the palms. And then bring your left foot up to meet it. Rotate yourself towards the left side of the mat. So gaze facing the camera. Yeah. Hey. Okay. Now we're gonna it's gonna be a little different this time, but you'll see where we're going over there. So you're gonna root into your left leg, bend into your left knee. And now we've been here before. Take your right knee behind your left knee, curtsy bow, hands can come to heart center. This time we're gonna do it a little bit differently though. So we're gonna take that back leg and see if we can straighten it towards the back of our mat. This way, towards the back of our mat. So it's kind of crossing behind us. Yeah, it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel like it's almost like a sail flopping in the sky. But can you let those toes still hang up off the earth? Yeah, see what you have to engage. See what has to balance and center out between both sides. Hands can come still to heart center. We're still there. You can bring that right knee closer to your left leg if you need some extra stability. We're still there. You got it. You're so strong, yogis. You got it. Almost there. Let that leg stretch a little bit more towards the back of the room. And then for those that want it, we can place our right palm down into the earth. See if our left hand wants to catch outside of our right foot. What? And then see if it wants to come all the way down as we extend that right leg out. Yeah, that's it. Kick it that way, kick it that way, kick it that way, kick it that way. So it comes out, whoop, and then we sneak into a little baby grasshopper. Maybe. If not, you can always bring that right foot down into the earth. Ooh, okay, let it come all the way down. So send that right foot all the way to the back of the mat, plant your right palm down into the earth, and then grab your left big toes with your left peace fingers. Inhale the left leg all the way up into the sky. Huge opening here. We contract it into the legs. See what it's like to lift that biggest muscle of your body, that quadricep, up. Yeah, up into the hips. Up, up, up. Maybe start to take the gaze up. Give it one more breath to reach out. Exhale, let the left foot come down. You can give it a foot dog if that feels nice to open up into the chest. Exhale, and come all the way down. Whew. Even I'm out of breath on that one. All right, for demo purposes today, let's rotate towards the back. Yeah, and then find a forward fold up at the back of your mat. For those at home, you can go wherever you want on your mat. It doesn't quite matter. This is just for camera purposes. Then rotate yourself to the right side of your mat. Root down into your right foot and bring your left knee behind your bent right knee. Hands come to heart center. Find your balance. Remember to lift up into the chest. And then start to kick that left leg out to the front of your mat. So it straightens out to the side like a sail in the wind or like a flag flapping in the sky, and it's strong here. You're igniting through that leg, kicking through the leg, opening into the chest, letting it sway a little side to side. Play with your growing edge here. Give it 2 more breaths. Yeah. One more. All right, now so your left leg is extended. If you want, plant your left palm down into the earth and reach to the outside edge of your left leg with your right hand. And then kick all the way in. Look at that. Hey, and see if the chest wants to lift up just a little bit. Smile at the camera. Hey, friends. Awesome. Maybe it goes into a baby grasshopper. Maybe that leg still floats. And then let the left leg come down into the earth. Grab your right big toes with your right peace finger and find an opening. Whew, we did it. Almost. We got a last little push. Lift that leg higher. Lift the hips higher. Maybe take the gaze higher. Give it one more breath. Exhale. Let it flip over. Open up into the chest. Whew, look at that. We're stronger than we think we are, yogis. Okay. Rotate towards the long edge of your mat. Let's forget everything that just happened. It's in the past now. Let your legs open up wider than your hips. I know, we're going there. We're going exactly where we think we're going. If you need to fold over the sides of your mat to give you a little extra padding on your knees, then do so. Hips come up, knees out wide, and then your ankles are in line with your knees behind you. And your knees just spread out basically as wide as they can go until it feels slightly uncomfortable. We're going for slightly uncomfortable. We're not going into pain, but we're going into slightly uncomfortable here. And then, yeah, there we go. Once you find a variation that works for you, let it come down. Let your chest settle down. If you have a pillow, it might feel nice to put the pillow underneath the chest. And the hips have a sneaky way of either wanting to go back to avoid sensation or wanting to go forward to avoid sensation. So can you bring the hips in line with the knees? This comes just slightly, there it is, just slightly forward, yeah. Whew, okay. Quarantine. I know I've been sitting an extra lot, so here's a counterpose to sitting. Here's what it's like to open up into those emotional parts of your body and your hips. We'll give Tay a little relief here with some fan. And if you're in Austin, Texas, you might even turn off the music to start to enjoy some of this nice rain that's coming in. Okay, if it's not go, you can leave it on. But see if you can really try and make a concerted effort not to move here. And we've done the movement in the body. We've done the work in the body. We start to do the work in the mind by letting ourselves hold and get into the fascia, the tissues, where we hide those emotions. And know that this too shall pass. It may pass like a kidney stone, but it's gonna pass. So there once was the Buddha, and the Buddha was sitting underneath a tree, giving an assembly to a bunch of his followers. And a stranger suddenly appeared, and he was pushing all around through the congregation. In this rage, he headed straight for the sage. The Buddha's disciples began to restrain what was going on. They saw the terror in this man's eyes and knew that he was up to no good, but he ordered them to let the man go. The Buddha was ready to be approached, so they obliged. And the sage was unperturbed as this man came up to the Buddha and spat in his face. One of the ultimate layers or levels of disgrace. And he wiped it off, looking into the man's eye, straight into his eye, and he said, "What's next? What do you want to say next?" The stranger naturally looked back at him, his puzzled expression. I just spat in his face. Who asked such a thing? What do I say next? He was dumbfounded by the reaction, at a loss for complete words. However, the Buddha's disciples all around him became quite perturbed, as this was such a disgrace. They demanded that this intruder be punished. Gautama said patiently, "All you keep silent. This man has not offended me, but the lot of you have. You lived here now with me for many years, and yet you still react to this stranger. We've never met him before. He must have heard something about me, and this man may be an atheist. Maybe he thinks I'm a danger to society, a revolutionary, a corrupter. He's formed his own idea, his own notion of how he sees me. He hasn't spit on me at all, but instead he spit on this notion, this formation, this idea that he's carrying about me." And at this, his disciples fell silent. Yes, there are moments in life, these moments of deep love, intense anger, in fact, even supplication. And we are witnessing them plenty now in real life. In this moment, only it doesn't do any justice to react. The Buddha says only action will do. It is only by our actions, our decisions, and fates that we are made. He turned his eyes to the intruder once again, and he said, "What's next?" Slowly let yourself slither all the way forward onto the belly, or whatever way that feels okay for you and your body to get out of this. And come onto your seat facing the original front of the room. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot inside your left thigh. Stretch your left leg out in front of you. Let the right knee fall to the earth. And inhale to lift the arms up. Exhale, Janu Shirshasana, and fold. So the man tried to answer. He still had no words. He was still dumbfounded by what happened. And the Buddha's complete forgiveness in the moment just had him struck. He was unable to make sense of what happened. In fact, he was kind of indescribably devoid of everything at this point, even thought. He was completely besides himself, and not really knowing what else to do, he kind of ran away in a coward notion, leaving the scene behind. Let your chest come back up. Switch out the legs as you let the right leg extend. Left foot comes in, left knee splays out. Take the arms up into the sky. Let yourself enjoy a breath. And begin to fold over the left leg, Janu Shirshasana on the right. So this perpetrator tried to sleep that night, but he couldn't. He tossed under the sheets, sweating, unable to find comfort, and Nothing really made sense anymore to him. Yes, he'd heard of terrible things that the man Gautama the Buddha was doing. He heard this quote unquote work of the devil that they said he was telling these stories of enlightenment and of how to avoid suffering. And one after another, he was unable to find support for his previous beliefs. However, he'd flown into a rage and storming onto the sage himself, ready to incite, ready to do whatever it took at that moment when he reacted. You begin to let yourself come up. Start to roll onto the back body all the way down into the earth, legs stretched long. Maybe they start to come up overhead for either legs up the wall or maybe even a shoulder stand tonight. Just let the energy reverse itself a little bit from the legs down to the heart. Okay, so the next morning, before the sun had barely risen over the horizon, the perpetrator was back in the saint's presence. This time throwing himself at the feet, head down, hands trembling at the wise man's toes, and he began to hear the words of the Buddha again. What's next? Start to let those toes come down overhead, maybe passing through a halasana. If the toes touch down, it might feel nice to allow the arms to clasp. And he looked up at the face that haunted him in his dreams the entire night, and now he knew the stranger spoke for the first time. Forgive me for what I did yesterday, he implored, but tears began rolling down the sides of his cheek. The Buddha laughed full wholeheartedly. Forgive, he asked. How? I'm not the same man. I'm not the same person who the offense was committed to yesterday. The Ganges continue to flow, and it is never the same Ganges as it was prior. Much has happened in these 24 hours, just like much has happened to you in this past hour. So it's impossible for me to forgive you because you see, there is no grudge that exists to hold you. I'm no longer the man that I was yesterday. Slowly let the legs come all the way down. And once they touch down, maybe you prop up onto the forearms and let the top of the head come down into the earth for a fish pose. Just a light opening into the front body to remind us to open our hearts. And so the man who had spit in the Buddha's face one day prior was now kneeling at his feet and began to laugh unbelievably through his tears. And so too are you now, the sage continued. It's clear that you are not the same person that you were yesterday. That man was completely enraged and beside himself and fully reactionary, and maybe even a little bit of ego shining through. So he took the stranger's hands and he pulled him to his feet, and using all the leverage to bring him to a standing position, the Buddha sets his arm around the previous perpetrator. Let us forget it, he said. Those two people are no more. We are here, and though I know you're a man of few words, I would nonetheless be very interested to hear what you have to say. Let yourself settle in now. Begin to take rest. Instagram livers, I'm going to lose you, but much love. Give yourself some rest. Zoomers, see if you can, maybe now more than ever, just find a mini opening into your heart and send out a bit of compassion, a bit of metta, a bit of your unconditional love as you rest. Take rest.
That may be transformed and
can begin to slowly, sweetly come out of your rest by deepening your breath. In your own time, extending out, arms overhead, legs long. Giving yourself a loving embrace, squeeze. Rolling over onto either side. Making your way up into a simple seat. Maybe allowing the eyes to stay shut along the whole path. Bring the hands to heart center. Bowing in, giving reverence to ourselves. Maybe giving reverence to a loved one in our thoughts. Maybe even giving reverence to someone we don't hold so highly in our thoughts. Because for all we know, they may be the person that needed most. And open up those palms and beam that out into the world, out at that person, out at the other person that you love, out at the stranger on the streets, out at anybody that you come into contact with or that you may come into contact with. And sealing the palms back at the heart, allowing the thumbs to come up to that third eye center, right between the eyebrows. It was Gandhi that said, when the ego dies, the soul awakens. Thanks for your souls tonight, yogis. Namaste. Thanks, Day. Thanks, Patty. Air high five, virtual high five. Thanks, everybody else virtually out there. Much love. Keep spreading that love. Doesn't do as much to continue the separation. As easy it is to want to feel hate towards somebody else, we never know what they're going through. So that's the work. That's the yoga. Thanks for your Wednesday nights, homies. Talk to you soon. Go snag some food. And if you want, make it vegan. Later.